At 20, we have Buffalo. We actually mocked the tight end to them, so that wasn't surprising. Dalton Kincaid, we know they have Dawson Knox, but Kincaid's a better blocker than Knox and way more upside. There's two ways to solve the Buffalo problem on offense of protecting Josh Allen. One is to add more weapons at receiver so he can get the ball out when Diggs is covered. Two, excuse me, is to add more, change the offensive philosophy, sort of. So with Kincaid and Knox, you can run more 12 personnel. Should open up the running game in theory, allow for more play action, not requiring Allen to run the ball on his own as much. Plus, Kincaid should be an absolute menace in the red zone. A lot of people are calling him Baby Kelsey. I thought he was much more similar to Greg Olsen, but I love the pick, and I'm glad he was the first tight end taken. They also went and got offensive line help, thankfully, with Osiris Torrance in the second round.
Yeah, so kind of building off what Zach was just saying, like the one way to protect Allen is to start running the ball more, and that makes all the sense in the world for the Torrance pick. We do have concerns about his ability to pass block against higher end defensive tackles, defensive ends. So I mean, between Kincaid and running 12 personnel and adding Torrance to the front, um, it really screams to run more, which we would have thought if that was the case, maybe you add somebody on top of Harrison Cook, but the offseason's not done yet. And then
Yeah, there's
Grocer,
I was gonna
what?
say there's still a ton of running backs in free agency. Like that. That's one thing that's lovely about this year is guys like Kareem Hunt are still available. Dalvin Cook never got traded. Austin Eckler never got traded. So don't be surprised if Buffalo adds something else to the room.
Zeke could go and steal touchdowns from James Cook.
Yeah, that's true. In the third round, they took Dorian Williams. It feels like this is the Tremaine Edmonds replacement. We're not sure how they feel about Terrell Bernard. If they loved him, we assume that they wouldn't have taken a linebacker in the third round. I know he's not exactly the same player. Bernard's was a little undersized. I think Williams was 6'3", right?
No, so Williams I think is like 6'1".
Oh,
So Bernard, I remember, I think you told me last year was more of like a third downs type player,
he's
right?
very similar to Milano.
Yeah. And it sounds like Williams isn't too far off from Milano himself. Like we mocked Buffalo a linebacker several times. We just thought it was gonna be someone who could replace, not saying Williams can't, but who could replace the size and athleticism of Edmonds. And quite honestly, this would have been the year to do it with Campbell, who was 6'5", 250, and tested like a freak at the combine, and Drew Sanders, who was 6'5", 240,
Yeah, like
and can run
242.
sideline to sideline.
I mean, it's worth noting, obviously, Jack Campbell went way higher than we expected. We had Campbell
Yeah.
mocked to Buffalo in round two, I believe. So
Mm,
that may
we had them late round 1 in
right.
4,
So
I think.
that may have changed their plans, but I mean, we'll see how it works out. Williams could be that guy. It is an odd replacement for Edmonds if that's the goal. Maybe they're shifting their defensive philosophy a little bit, but we'll see. They had another offensive lineman. Didn't love the Justin Shorter pick. Thought there was other guys that would have been a better fit, but it's like we said, it's hard to knock people for fifth round and later picks.